Hey guys, Miss Jagger here, and welcome back to a little bonus video for World of Tanks. Woo! Today I'm just going to be having a couple of replays in this thing, the Jagpanther II, German Tier 8 tank destroyer, the other choice along the German armoured TD line. As I was saying in the review today for today's video, I just find this tank destroyer in comparison to the Ferdinand to be way more enjoyable to drive, and I don't know, it kind of symbolizes what I like in tank destroyers, where it's like good maneuverability, good vehicle rotation, and also a fairly good gun. I'm in the platoon with Nimbus in his AT-15, and one of my subscribers, Ulf, in his IS-3. Now don't worry, he isn't completely stock. He's just got the top gun, and I believe, I think the engine maybe? I don't know, I think radio and engine is pretty much that. Apart from the turret, that's all he has. So in this game, we are on a standard highway. We have the North Spawn, and Nimbus was just talking to us about a weak point, supposedly in the gun mantlet of the AT-15, when a T-37 appears in front of us. So I'm trying to see if we can get a cheeky shot. Note, I don't have Sixth Sense, though I forgot about it at this point. So the enemy T-37 approaches. Make my way across. The gun depression on this thing is fairly good, but not perfect. R12T dies to the M5385. I fire just a little too quickly, and unfortunately the T-37 is denied a sweet 128mm shell, which is a shame because he would love it so much. Anyway, the enemy T-37 sneaks up on a WZ-132, and WZ-132 does get hit a bit. I get shot at by artillery, to which then I remember I don't have Sixth Sense. So, not really content with staying out in the open, I decide to do something which probably you shouldn't do as a tank destroyer. So, before too much longer, I'm just going to say, don't do this if you're in a tank destroyer, because most of the time it doesn't work. But, I decide to go into the town to support the heavy tanks. Anyway, so enemy IS-3 and a T-26E4 enters into the fray. There is also a T-10. We are in a Tier 9 game. It wasn't until now that I realized we were in a Tier 9 game. So now I move into position to try and get a nice sneaky shot up onto the T-26E4. I go around. Hello, engine. Bang! And I start to slowly withdraw. The T-26 pops a shot. I angle just in the nick of time, and I use my repair kit. Unfortunately, the shell goes up on the next one. I'm trying to get away. Luckily, don't get tracked by that one. And I'm just about loaded. Prepared to try and take a shot, but unfortunately unable to do anything about it. Enemy T-26E4 has got my number, and I can get him, but not before I take another damaging hit. I luckily get saved by Ulf. Thank you very much, Ulf. Artillery also having a pop shot at me as well, which is not too great. There is the T-10 who is now surrounded in the town. I sort of decide, right, okay, here we go. Quickly turn the tank around. Take my time, aim for the T-10. I take a nasty rear shot from the Borsig, camping in the back there, so I decide to fall back, get out of the way. I clip the E-75, doing 18 damage to myself. Well done, Miss Jaeger. Artillery once again having a hard-on for me. Unfortunately, now by the time that happens, I am unable to do anything. Oh my god! So close to getting shot and destroyed there. The game could have ended for me quite disastrously, but luckily not at all, and we are now safe. So now, making our way through the town, or the remnants of the town, and Nimbus taking the charge there in his AT-15, undamaged, but unfortunately takes a nasty hit from the Borsig. Centurion Mark 1, I take my time, I aim, I fire, and the shell naturally goes into his tracks. But I see a chance to get some revenge on that Borsig for the damage he gave me, so I might as well throw a shell in his direction. Hey Borsig, enjoy. Bam! 646 damage. Not bad at all. So now the game is pretty much coming to an end. Enemy Panther II is taking cover by the bridge. I'm a little sheepish, because if I go down there, Panther II will almost certainly decide to go and try and get a kill shot on me. So at this point, the Panther's pretty much dead, so I decide to prioritize getting the artillery that destroyed Nimbus in his AT-15. Artillery once again getting a few shots in, almost killing the Borsig, but unfortunately not doing quite enough damage. Enemy T-54 moving in to try and pop a shot against our light scout tanks. I'm trying to find the artillery, thinking oh, he's over in the K-line, when I spot the M53-55, and a little bit of luck on my side as we're able to take advantage of the aiming mechanics, so that my shells can quite happily glide over the top of this shed to be able to avenge Nimbus. I am quite happy with that. So the game's virtually over. M12 decides to suicide charge. He fires, he misses, but I don't. And the T-54 does another suicide charge. And I'm attempting to try and see if I can get a shot in. And I fire, stealing the kill and ending the game. So a bit of a YOLO charge there. Probably not the cleverest of tactics utilized in that game. But I wasn't really going... I wasn't super, like, determined to not completely screw up. Like, I do what I do with a tank destroyer, which is think I'm a heavy and just charge balls deep in there. So, not, as I said, not the recommended tactics to be utilized on the old Jagpanther II, but with the maneuverability of this vehicle and the awesome gun that it has, I just love... When it works for you, it really works for you. So anyway, I'll take you now to the results of that game. So, a fairly good resulting win for that. I earned over 3,000 experience, thanks to it being my ×2, which wasn't a bad way to start the day. I got a Fire for Effect, a Bruiser, and a Mastery Class 2nd. So this thing is not like the easiest to get an Ace Mastery tanker. There are far better players who can rock the socks off these things, but I do very much enjoy it. Going down to the team score, I was able to earn 1,000 base experience, and I did slightly, yeah, I was saying, I don't think I did like the most damage in game. That was, I did do the most damage, but not by much. The Jagdtiger was ever so slightly behind me with his top guns. So, well played to our opponents, though. They did an absolute good job, almost killing me. I'm very sorry, Mr. Borsig. You have done a tremendous amount of fighting, but unfortunately that high explosive shell did probably bugger you over completely. So, my dear apologies. But either way, good game to you and all that. So now I will take you to the second game. So, here we are for the second game. I am in Hell Haluf with my friends Nimbus and Ulf. Nimbus being in the Charioteer, and Ulf still being in his IS-3. So, standard match, tier 9 game on El Haluf. I will say, I do prefer this variant of El Haluf to the old El Haluf. I absolutely loathed that map, because basically it was just such a camp fest. Which is why I'm beginning to hate Prohorovka now, because it pretty much is an incredibly slow and frustrating... can be incredibly slow and incredibly frustrating to deal with. So the initial start of the game is kind of good, actually. The Studer Mill is able to knock out the enemy Bulldog. AMX 1390 coming along. I'm cresting the ridge thanks to the beautiful gun depression of this tank. I'm able to get a nice shot into the 1390. Thank you very much. Probably not in the most artillery safe areas, but considering this area, I was hoping to be able to pull back. Of course, I still don't have my 6th sense enabled. So now that the 1390 has spotted us, I now move to take a little bit of cover. Utilizing my Jagdpanzer E100 tactics to a small extent. This thing doesn't have as much armor, obviously, but it has a fairly decent amount. And it's angled. So we get a nice side shot into the side of the Panther II. Ulf decides to make a bit of a push, which can be difficult because the Object 704 is there as well. I try and pop a shot into the side of the Object 704. I do make a bit of a mistake here, and I hesitate. I I prioritized moving around. Enemy 704. I bounce, and the 704 misses, and way too exposed. And unfortunately, IS-3 Ulf is taking a bit of damage. I'm trying to back up as carefully as possible. Artillery having a hard-on for me. A bit paranoid now. Fear's getting to me. I want to repair my gun as fast as possible. I panic, and I use the repair kit. And utilizing my dear friend KV-3 as cover. Ulf is kind of boned when an enemy AMX-12T decides to appear, fearing the worst, but the IS is able to take care of it, no problem. At first I was going to try and go around to support Nimbus, but no, it's just going to be a bit too late. They're already rushing, and the heavy tanks are now coming in. Ulf is virtually screwed. Our T-10 has been knocked out already, and the game is looking fairly disastrous. Nimbus has just fallen to the IS-3, and now I'm beginning to back up, try and see if I can do that tactic I did with the AMX 1390, and I'm able to get a good shot in on the Tiger, as well as the enemy Panther now is going to be fairly good. And I don't know if I am actually spotted from this distance, or if they prioritized Ulf, but they definitely know I'm here now. And unfortunately, this Tiger probably doesn't realize his weak point, which is on the top of the cupola. I get a lovely high roll into the top of the enemy Tiger. As I take my time, I'm aiming, I fire a beautiful kill shot onto the top of the Tiger's tank. You cannot hope to hold with that. I'm trying just to... Oh, Tiger Panther tank taking some damage from the KV-3. I fire, the shell goes into the rock. God damn you, RNG. Anyway, so now I'm just taking my time. Come on, gun, reload. Yes! Right, okay, Panther II is down. Object 704 and IS-3 have killed the remaining tanks on that point. It's pretty much anyone's game. We are slowly but surely trying to hold. I'm seeing the Object 704. I take an unfortunate penetration via the 704, so I'm now on rather low health. And, desperately trying to do it. The quite intense moments there. IS-3 decides to pop a shot. Luckily dodges. Ulf reminded me about artillery. I'm like, yes, I realize that, but it's useless if this IS-3's there. IS-3's about to do the kill shot. Our IS saves my arse. God bless you, sir. Unfortunately, enemy Object 704 is there. Can I get a kill shot? No! Oh! No! So goddamn close. And on this one, I was on the chat just going, no, you son of a smeggy! Ah! It was, the tense. The pressure just overwhelmed, and I just, I didn't lose my temper. It was just, I was just about to click on the 704. And unfortunately, that, at this point, seemed like the game was in. But I was able to hold the enemy just about long enough to be able to do some damage. We do have a T-95 who has stayed back. So that is actually of benefit as well. And I'm warning the T-95 about the T-10 that is going to try and fall back. I spot the artillery and my... well played artillery, but I'm just like, get that bloody artillery. Because he's going to do a lot of damage otherwise. Because he is a good artillery. He did some good jobs on that. But still, I'm like, just get rid of him. Get rid of him. So now I'm keeping an eye on the T-95, ever aware of what the T-10 could do. And unfortunately, the T-10 knocks out the T-49. T-95 prioritizes getting a kill shot on that. And I would say the T-95 makes a mistake here, because instead of reversing into the mountain, or into the side of the hill, which he does do now, unfortunately it's a little bit too late, which allows the T-10 to get a rear shot on him. And artillery takes a very bold shot, which does kill the enemy T-10, but also does some damage to the T-95. But as you can see in the chat, he does say, "Sorry, mate. I was trying to save him," sort of thing. And he's like, and the T-95's like, "Yeah, no problem. I know why." So a very tense game, to say the least. But at this point, we're now sort of on the search for it, and it turns out, if we just speed things up, that the T-95 doesn't really show himself. Sorry, T-95 doesn't. The enemy artillery doesn't really show himself until like the last ever few precious seconds of it, and yeah, we spotted him, and that's the game. So unfortunately, the scumbag did get through, but well played to him because he was doing a damn good job, and it was just the last possible moment he killed me. It would have been nice if I got the kill shot on the 704, but unfortunately, luck said otherwise. So I will now take you to the results of that game. So here's the results of that game. A very awesome victory for us, and I was able to get a decent amount of experience and cash. I was able to get a mastery class first, fire for effect, and a high caliber, which was pretty awesome. Going over to the team scores, I was once again able to earn over 1,000 experience and also to do the most damage by possibly over 1,000? No, yeah, just about maybe 1,000. I'm not too great on the mathematical instant thoughts frontier, but either way, we are able to do the most damage out of the rest of the team. And well played to our opponents, though, especially the artillery as well as the T10. They had some pretty damn good games. Unfortunately, however, luck was just not on their side, sorry. And yeah, the Battalion actually did make the right call in probably getting the hell out of there, even though it would have been immensely satisfying at times to see that artillery getting destroyed. But either way, well done to our opposing teams. Unfortunately, it wasn't for you this day, but I'm fairly certain they'll win another game. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this, and if you like this kind of content, do let me know in the comment section down below, clicking on the like button, and of course subscribing to the channel. Have a good one, guys.